using and protection. This is our lesson today. Today you will come to know what is meant by forest. So here forest means it is many things. What different people give different things on forest. Somebody give a definition like it is a large tree cover, right? So this is, it means many things to different people. When we ask the people what is meant by forest, then they say different things. That means they give different meanings. When we ask about do you know forest, then some people may get afraid because they think that it is the home of wild animals, some snakes and dangerous insects, and some valleys, gorges, and big rocks, like that will be. And certain people may not have fear also, those who walk around the forest, right? It may be their homes also. So certain people give the name or definition to the forest is different. It is, to some forests are sacred places. It means holy places who keeps their deities, their goddesses and gods, and worship there. So certain people feel it is sacred places, and some others it is a place which give certain raw material. Some people will depend on forest. They collect timber, bamboo, and bedi leaves. And for some, it is a source of food. They may collect some fruits and some hunt animals. They sell in the market. So different people use forest indifferently. Some people live in a simple shelters in the forest, and they grow some vegetables and collect fruits, tubers, and they may hunt small animals. This is the dependency of some people on forest. Some others may use forests to provide a grass to their animals, that is sheep, goat, cows, right? This is for some other people. Some others, some other people may cultivate in forest area, clearing some tree cover, that what we call a podu cultivation. In Telugu we call it podu vyavasayamu. Understand? That may be what to call there. Understand? In the forest, some people may go on creating in that way. Understand? Then we see here it is about in Pengolu. You have studied in sixth class. So many people use forests by cutting down trees and bamboos. They sell to the paper and selling to the paper furniture factories in the towns. Different people use forests in different way. Other looks at forest as a places which can be converted into fields. Some people think that forest is a land of a tree cover. Then removing the tree cover, it can be converted into the agriculture fields. Some may convert into tourist resorts. Some may remove the tree cover and build dams there for storing the water. For so different purposes, they use forest, right? We need to remember that here human beings are not only the living beings who use forest, that we not only using the forest, along with us many other animals, other beings, living beings use it. Trees, plants, grasses, birds, insects, understand, all this, right, uses forest, understand, right? It means it is used. Forests are a place useful for many living things. There will be countless of birds here, understand, right? What to call, we look that many insects and what to call their birds, fishes, right? Such things we see in the forest. So we think of forest, we need to think about those animals also. So how we define a forest? That means different people will give different definitions. What they have idea about the forest and how they are using the forest. Based on that, they give the definition to the forest, right? So here we define a forest that depends on how we look at a forest and how we use it. But generally, there is a definition about forest. Understand? That is this one. What you call? It is an easy definition. That is large tract of land covered by trees. Look at that line. I underlined it. A large tract of land covered by trees. This is a general definition or easy definition to define the forest. Understand? So, dear students, there are different limitations, right? Because when we ask about large land cover, that means the large land covered by the trees, then there may be a question to us that how large the land is covered by the forest, right? Is it 10 hectares or 20 hectares, right? That the question will arise, right? And it is covered by trees. So can we say that certain trees which are covered by near to your home as a forest? Some trees are there nearby your home. So can we call it a forest? So another question may rise that how thickly the area is covered with trees, right? It may be different from the plantation. Plantation means certain area covered by some specific trees. So can we call it as a forest? No. So there is a difference between forest and plantation. Okay. And we think that whether there are animals, birds, insects in that tree, the in that area covered by the trees. So many limitations we find and many questions may arise when we think of the definition, right? So to get an idea about the forest, there are certain things about the forest. If those things are there to an area, then we can call it a forest. Some features should be there to say it as a forest. Understand? What are those features? We'll see here. Understand? That is just a minute. What we call it is only 6 minutes is there. We'll go to finish that one. So just we'll think about the features. What are the features to be to a forest? If these features were just, we are going to discuss those features. If those features are there, then only we call it a forest. The first one, look at it, is there should be a large tract. That should be some hundreds of kilometers, several kilometers it should stretch. The feature of the forest is one thing, that it should be large area, some hundreds of kilometers should cover in the length and breadth. The length and breadth in the sense, it is what to call in all sides. Understand? So, and second feature is that it should cover with a tree cover should be there. Understand? That should be grass which grows with a little interference from human beings. Human interference should be very low there. Understand? What should be there? Very low human interference should be there in the forest. Understand? That is the second point. Okay. And third is that there should be considerable biodiversity, where many kinds of plants, animals, uh, they should have naturally moving in that forest without any interference. That is the third feature. And fourth is that in India, we see most forests are inhabited by the people. People also living in the forest. Understand? They adapted themselves to the conditions which are prevailed in the forest. Understand? And they live in the forest without changing the circumstance there. Understand? So if these four features are there to an area covered by tree, we may call it a forest. Understand? That is what we call here forest. Understand? And people live around the forest, use it for variety of purposes, right? Some people, just now I stated, they go on for providing grass, right? It is used for different purpose. Understand? One thing is that here it is used for food. Forests are used to collect food. It is used to collect wood for building the cottages, right? And for making the agriculture tools also. And it is, forest is used to get the fuel, firewood, right? And it is used to provide grass for animals, fodder. It is used for worshipping, right? That is, some people will go on worshipping the forest also. People who live far from the forest have been using the forest for many things. People who are not only living in the forest but also who are not living in the forest also using forest for many things. That is for wood, medicine, many medicine valuable things, medicine related things we get from the forest, which they buy in the market. Understand? And many people depend on forest, collecting some articles, some materials, some food items, and they sell in the market. So forests are giving some livelihood to the people, right? They collect what to call some important items, and they sell in the market. Many people earn their livelihood depending on the forest. Understand? Later on, we shall see how these different uses of forest often come in conflict with each other. That means when somebody is using the forest, then some others may get difficulty when somebody using. So we'll see in the next class how it will